Today on Call for Help, fun gadgets and gear for any age.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome. It's time for Call for Help, or as I call it, Callie for Help. This is episode 448. I'm Leo Laporte, and this is Callie Lewis,
Hey.
the great star of Geek Brief TV, which I watch religiously at geekbrief.tv. It's everybody's favorite video podcast. Well, except for Command N and Lab
Right,
Rats and
of
Twit and
course.
Mac Break. And all. Anyway, we're all podcasters here. It's great to have you. Thank you so much. You came all the way up from Dallas with your husband Neil to be a part of our show for this month, and we really are glad to have you.
I'm having a blast. You guys are great.
It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not so bad for TV. You're going to show us something I've been very interested in for a
Yes.
while. A lot of people call, and actually they call a radio show that I do in Los Angeles a lot about this, because they can't get high-speed internet, cable or DSL, but because in the United States, Verizon has installed this high-speed wireless network for cell phones all over the country, they can get high-speed cell phone data access. They say,
Right.
well, how can I do this instead of my cable modem? You've got a way.
Yes, the Kyocera K1 router is an amazing thing. I got.
Don't give it all away.
Okay,
We're gonna
okay, we'll
save
slow
a little for
down.
the segment. But
yes.
it's for people who live in Canada. It does work on, I think, the Rogers. One of the providers has an EVDO network. Anyway, it'll work on that.
Yeah.
And I don't know about Australia. We'll see if we can find out. But
Sure.
it's a really neat idea, and I think it's just going to be one more way people get high-speed internet. Dick DiBartolo is here, Mad's maddest writer. He's the Giz Wiz with some fun toy gadgets. So if you're trying to decide what to get the kids this holiday season, as usual, Dick has some great ideas. And Tobias Lutke is here. He is from Shopify, which is a really wonderful site that allows you to get your business online selling very easily. It's tough if you're a small e-business, but we believe in the small sole proprietor. I mean, look, that's what you are. That's what I am.
Right.
We believe in that. And we're going to show you, Tobias will be here to show you a little bit about how you can compete against the big boys thanks to the internet and this wonderful global market that we're all a part of these days. It's an exciting time to be able to start your own business, isn't it?
It is.
You've been in business for a long time.
Yes, Leo.
Since you were a
long
little
time.
knee-high to a grasshopper. But you understand about business. You're a business person. It's kind of nice to have your own thing, isn't it?
Oh, it is. The freedom that comes with that.
Yeah.
Long hours, but
You work hard, but
Absolutely.
you own it. It's yours.
Right.
Yeah, it's a nice feeling. It
yeah,
really
you
is
know
great.
that well.
It's funny. You'd think, here I am, more than twice your age, and I'm only now just starting my own business. I've always been an employee almost all my life. And this podcast thing I'm doing, and I didn't plan it to be a business, but it's slowly growing into a
Yeah.
business. And it is kind of fun. There's some scary parts.
Oh, of course. Anything you go out and do on your own, there's always a scary part to it. But I think it's worth it.
Yeah, I'm not good at being a grown-up. See, that's my problem. I have to do grown-up things like trademarks and copyrights and protecting yourself and incorporating. I don't do all that stuff. Are you guys incorporated, just out of curiosity? Are you an
No,
LLC or anything?
yeah, we've got an LLC.
See, that's incorporation.
Yeah.
I'm not even an LLC. They sue me, I lose the house. I'm gone. It's all gone. I know. We have a new podcast on my podcast network, Twit, that's a legal podcast. And I'm listening to Denise Howell, who hosts it, who's a wonderful lawyer, talk about all of the ramifications. And I'm going, I said, Denise, I haven't done any of this.
Lawyers know
said-
how to scare you.
I noticed. They do. They're very good at it. They're worse than doctors when it comes to that. Let's get our first caller on the air here. What do you say?
Absolutely. We've got Daryl via the webcam from Stratford, Ontario.
Oh, that's wonderful. Hello, Daryl. How are you?
I'm good.
Welcome to Callie for Help. Callie Lewis. Yeah, you didn't know this show was named after you.
Yeah, I did. This is
Oh.
nice.
Also here, of course, the fabulous Basil Cowart on camera #1. We call it Cowart for Help. How about that? You like that? Call for help. He says it's call for help. So it's great to talk to you, Daryl. Welcome to the show. What can I do for you today?
Well, my girlfriend and I are working on a home movie project, and what we're doing is taking all of our old VHS tapes, bringing them to DVD on a DVD recorder, and what I want to try and do is take the DVD, bring it onto the Mac,
Right.
and rip the video content off in something that I can edit in iMovie.
Of course. Now, doing this, of course, means you said the word, ripping. It's the same thing when you take a CD with audio on it and you want to put it on iTunes. You have to rip it. Ripping does not come from ripping off. I would like to say this right now. You're not, particularly with what you're just talking about, you're not ripping anything off from yourself. It means just kind of, I wonder where that term came from. Maybe a rip saw. I don't know. You're taking data from one format, in this case a DVD, and you are putting it on to another format. So what you need is a DVD ripping program. Now, most of them, I might add, are designed to take copy-protected DVDs, commercial DVDs, like this fabulous Disney Quack Pack. I don't know why. We have the worst DVDs for ripping, you know. I guess because no major Hollywood studio would allow us to have their DVDs knowing what we're going to do with them. Well, this is Disney. But this is a commercial one. You don't even have the same issue because yours isn't copy protected. However, you can use the same applications. I use an application. You're on the Mac, you said?
Yes, sir.
Mac or Windows?
Mac.
Okay. I use an application called Handbrake. So here we go. I have opened Handbrake. I've put the DVD in. Let's see, detected volume. And it's going to do exactly what you just asked me to do. It's going to take the contents of the DVD, which are recorded, by the way, in MPEG-2, but they're not in a standard MPEG-2 format. They're in VOB files, which stands for Video Object, and it includes audio and video in one file. They're going to take those files, and this will scan the DVD and rip it into MPEG-4 file format. And actually, you have some control over what file format it's going to turn it into. This works with commercial DVDs because it has software in it that will remove copy protection. But it doesn't matter. It also works with non-commercial DVDs like yours, Daryl. And it's absolutely free. Handbrake. It's from a very funny website. Is it M0K.org, something like that. Let me look at the About thing because it's a weird URL. Yeah, M0K.org. It's Eric Pettit wrote it. But you can see here, it sees the disk. It sees all the different files. Now, it's not automated, so if you have a bunch of different files on here, you're going to have to go one by one through them. You can choose the file format. MPEG-4 is probably the one you'll want to use. Are you going to edit it in iMovie?
iMovie and then iDVD, hopefully.
Yeah. MPEG-4, iMovie reads, anything QuickTime can read, it'll be able to read. And, so it's MPEG-4, AVI, or OGM. I'm going to choose MPEG-4. You actually get to choose, is it going to be MPEG-4 or H.264? Those are both the same. I would suggest H.264. That gives you the highest quality for the file size. And if you want to get fancy, you can mess around with the target size, the average bit rate. What I would suggest is a constant quality and move that all the way up to 100%, and that way you'll get the full quality available to you. The unfortunate fact is that the MPEG-2 that the DVD is encoded into, these are compressed file formats, is a little bit lower quality, in fact, than the H.264, but you can only be as good as what you're starting with, right?
Well, it's only coming from old SDHS anyway.
Oh, all right.
So.
All right. Well, if it's VHS, you're going to be looking better than that anyway.
Exactly.
And once you've got it, you just press RIP, and it will copy those files off onto the hard drive as MPEG-4s, and you can drag them right into iTunes and edit it and do anything you want with it. I think every Mac user should have Handbrake since it's free. I use it. You know what I do is I don't want to bring my CDs with me when I fly up here because I have DVDs. I have like 3 or 4 movies, and in the past I've cracked them or whatever. So I'll copy them to the hard drive using Handbrake, and I watch them off the hard drive. I think it saves battery life too to do that. So Handbrake is a very good program. Okay.
All right, thanks very much.
All right, Daryl. Did you have a suggestion?
No, just RIP stands for raster image processing.
Raster image processing. You see, it's very simple. Well, what about audio files? And why would you rip an audio
Well,
file?
it's a holdover from the old days when it was sending
Of
to a
ripping
printer.
images. Oh, yeah, you're right. That's right. Okay, great. See, we learn something every day. I think I smell a quiz. It doesn't matter how old you are. Look at me. It's okay if you still want to play toys. And speaking of old, whether you're a small boy, a big boy, or even a girl, the ancient little old GizWiz has some toys for you to play with right after the break. Oh no, here comes Dickie D when Call for Help continues. still remember my first toy. It was a rock with a piece of string wound around it. I loved that little rock. I wonder where it is today.
You took it to lunch.
I think I ate it. But it was every bit as good as one of those, fancy pink rubber balls those kids down the street had. Well, it didn't bounce really well. In fact, it kind of hurt when you hit your toe with it. But anyway, those are great memories. Toys have come a long way since my stick and string and rock. Dick DeBartolo has some of the latest fun toys that will appeal to the little kid and all of us. This is the segment I've been looking forward to all day.
This is great fun. Our friends at Wild Planet.
They do great stuff.
They do great stuff. This is new for them. It's actually on the market now. It's called Verticon, and it's an air play game. Let me just turn it on. Now, these are the Warriors.
Warriors, all right.
Okay, and you
Shall we play
Yeah,
together?
we're going to play together. You pick a color warrior you
I'm
want
going to be the green guy.
the green guy. Okay, I'll be the blue guy. And at the count of 3, we release them. 1, 2, 3. Oh.
Kill him,
They have
kill
to-
him.
Oh, wait.
You win!
I won. Whoa, this is good. And I'll tell you why
Well, it's a
good.
real game of skill.
I'll tell
Why?
you.
I have to buy lunch now?
No.
Shall I get my balls?
Now,
I drop-
here you
I
go.
drop- oh,
Here,
you got a
I'll
new
put
ball?
another green.
All right.
Yeah, we'll play these
I
two.
dropped mine.
Right. I got it. It's
All right,
okay.
I lost my warrior.
No, what happened was,
You want a new one?
I said to the people at Wild Planet, I cannot lose. I cannot lose.
Oh, they said-
So they said, well, we can put in the proper weapons for you to win.
It's a
So
weapon?
then your friend Mike came out here, rearranged them all, and I go, there's no way I'm
So
going to
these
win.
are the weapons
The
on
little
there.
weapons.
They're
yeah.
like this is a little anchor. That's
You
that's
can-
what I lost
they're
with.
all little
What did you
guys.
have? You got like a sword on you.
I have a sword
That's
on
not
mine.
fair.
All right, well, you want to be green
All
this
I
time?
had was the anchor. Yeah, I'll be
You
green
be
this
green,
time.
I'll
No,
be
wait a minute. I was
blue.
green last time. You be green. I'll be
I'm
blue.
green, okay.
You tried to trick me. I want my rock back. Okay,
Ready?
ready?
1, 2, 3.
I win. No,
Did
you
ya?
won. Who's green?
Who's green? Oh, I loved it. Look
You
at
won
it.
again? You son
This
of
is
a...
great. This is look at how long I can stay up. Whoop, whoop.
Whoa! Wow, that's really cool. Can we play another one? I'm sorry, we probably should. Let's save that for after the show.
Anyway,
Yeah, it's fun.
It's fun. And also, if you want to, if you're into like chess and things where you want rules, there are
no
points
rules.
and there are things.
It's silly.
Each warrior has a minus and it's a whole entire game. And
You
it
know
runs,
what? I'm getting this for Henry.
It runs $25 to $35.
You know what? I'm not getting this for Henry.
Come on,
We
25,
have a $5
$24
limit.
for your kid.
All right, I know.
Verticon, Wild Planet.
That's pretty cool.
And that's out now.
You know, I got him the spy stuff that they did last year. He
Did you get him
loved
the
it.
spy car?
Yeah. Oh
You
no, the
did?
spy car.
The spy car, you know, we'll run some video.
Oh yeah,
of
he
that.
drives
Of course.
around and has a camera
Oh,
in it. No, that
the
was too
spy
expensive.
car is so good that.
But I got him the. I got him
Well,
the
if you're not going to spend $5, you're not going
I
to.
got him the spy toilet paper roll.
Right.
You put it up to your eye and you can see really
Oh,
far.
that's really what
Yeah.
a wonderful
I'm
parent.
a good dad.
Do we find that spy car running?
Oh, you have the video of it?
Yeah, the video. We'll do it at the end.
We'll do it at the end.
Okay,
They're working
right.
at it. They've got to find the spy car video.
Okay, very good. So those are
These
warriors.
are.
that
Oh,
you
it
can
comes.
buy.
Oh, of course.
You can buy more warriors.
You could spend more dollars on crap. These are different. What? Bigger balls? Different balls? colored?
different
different
color,
icons,
different,
different
teams,
weapons.
right. If you're,
Verticon.
you can do an entire.
Mid-air combat. Discover a sport unlike any other as you enter weightless
You should really be
mid-air
in show
combat.
business.
You know what? I just like the weightless part. Can I get the weightless part without the combat? All right.
All right, this is actually very clever. It is the kids' first MP3 player.
Oh, that's funny.
It won't even go on your. It's designed for age 3, and you pick either song or story. Great big buttons. Is it playing already?
I love you, you love me, we're a happy family. The dog says, woof, the cat says, meow. What? That's what it's saying.
Is it?
No, it's not saying anything.
No, I didn't think so.
It doesn't fit on my head exactly.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute. Her name is.
Well, you know
She's
what?
a cat.
I have very low.
Her name is Earbo. Meow, 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 meow.
Now, let me show you how fast I can
Meow,
shut this
meow.
off.
Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow, there's more. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow. It's speeding up. Meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. I have a cat. His name is Ducky. This is very confusing.
The last time I'm not bringing anything that can be demonstrated. It's the
I like it.
It's the last time.
You know what they call it, though, that's funny?
What?
An FP3 player.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because they're controlling the content so that the child
They
is
can't put
only
anything on there.
downloading. You can actually.
Meow, 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 meow.
Okay.
meow,
What
meow,
actually
meow,
you can
meow.
what you can do with this is you. It also has an SD card slot, so parents can burn CD music that they like.
ABCs. Oh, so you could put other music.
You can
could
put other
Raffi
music
on
on
here.
it. And
you know,
there's a
so what
card
age did they
slot.
say this is for?
This is starting at 3. It's very rugged.
Oh, kids
We've
want
been
this.
Dropping
you know?
it.
You could put it around your neck.
It's about 70.
Oh,
No, it has breakaway cord. Too.
Oh, okay.
Okay, for kids.
You put it around your neck. And
Okay, Fisher Price, and it comes in pink also.
I'm gonna wear this on the subway. You probably see people in New York wearing these on the subway.
I wore it up here. The guy, security said, "What is it?" I said, "It's a pacemaker."
FP3. That's it.
Pacemaker. The guy said, I said, "One of the early pacemakers." Okay, go ahead. He says, "What does your pacemaker say?" "It's a cat. It's a cat."
Meow, meow, meow. I am a cat. Okay.
Okay. Did we find that a videotape of?
Okay, we're still working on the video.
We're working on videotape.
What
All
else
right,
you got?
I thought I'd bring something for the.
Ooh, that's pretty. What's that?
That's the new.
What's that, Daddy?
Nano.
Oh, the new
The
Nano.
new Nano.
Nano,
the
Nano.
little guy.
I like it. It's pretty. Look
yeah,
how blue it is.
They're
And look
really
how thin it
neat.
is.
Yeah, they are.
That
That's
is
the
great.
4 gigabyte guy.
You know what's funny? You can only get the colors in 4. If you get an
Yes,
8, it has to be black.
Right.
And a 2 or one has to be silver. It's just weird.
I know. I don't quite.
And you can
why
just pop it in your
did
mouth.
that. And it's a breath mint. He ate it. He ate the entire.
You didn't want that, did you?
No.
Well, we can get it in the morning. Now we have a picture. We have a picture, a video.
Oh yeah, let's run.
What is this? This is the spy car. Okay.
I love.
So this is a camera-enabled
spy
car.
Right. This is a camera-enabled car. So, and it's a remote control car. So you drive it, and this is what you're wearing an eyepiece.
Oh, that's
There's
so
the
fun.
kid sitting there, and he's got the remote control, and you can send the car into someone else's.
Let's go see what Mommy and
room.
Daddy are doing.
And
Oh,
for that
boy.
reason, it does not record picture, and it does not pick up. It does not pick up sound. Okay. Let's go spy
what is the dog
on
gonna
the
do?
hound
Oh, the
dog.
dog's gonna just go
it's
crazy,
really
don't you
neat.
think?
It's really neat.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
we showed it when it was just a prototype, and it's in stores
available now?
now.
How much is that gonna
You
be?
know, you want to know something? If you do a web search,
You'll
you
find
can
out.
find it for $99.
That's not bad at
That
all.
is an amazing price.
This you'll find everywhere. And you know what? My kids, my older daughter, my daughter who's 14 reads Mad, but my son who's in 6th grade reads this one, Mad
Kids.
It's perfect for that age group. It is funny. They love it. And they get it. And, you know, it's appropriate for
It's
kids.
and it helped me out because instead of trying to bridge the gap from
Yeah, they were trying to
10
do too much.
70,
Right.
now we
This
just
is
we
perfect
spun
for
off the Mad
12-year-olds.
Kids.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They don't say Verschluggener anywhere in this one. Dick DiBartolo is the Giz Wiz, and
I'll see you on the Daily GizWiz podcast.
Monday through
I'll
Friday.
hear you. Right.
Yes, we love doing that, and it's available at twit.tv. If you like Dick, you can hear him every single day on the Daily Giz Wiz. He's Mad Magazine's maddest
And
writer.
Leo does not sing on the podcast.
Meow, 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 meow. For more
Okay.
on the items he pulled out of his tech
Bye.
toy box,
I'll see you,
head
Leo.
on over
All right.
to
Bye.
the show notes at
Okay,
Call for
I'll be
Help.
back. Maybe,
meow,
maybe
meow,
not. All right,
meow, meow.
Meow.
Meanwhile, don't leave me, Dick. It's time for our daily tech quiz. Audio encoding method, not the FP3. Does Sony's mini disc use? Is it MP3, PCM, A-Track, or H-Track? Get to the website and sing a little song. Meow, 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 meow. We'll be right back. Meow, 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 meow. Dick, great. We just love having him on. I think if you like what you just saw, or even if you don't, you should listen to the Daily Giz Wiz at twit.tv. Now, let's see if we have another caller on the line. If Callie hasn't run in terror and horror Are you still with us?
I got out of breath from laughing, but I'm okay.
Okay. Who's on the line right now?
We have Bruce from Brampton, Ontario.
Hey, Bruce, how are you?
I'm just great. How are you?
Oh, wonderful. Welcome
Leo,
to
thanks for
Coffee
taking my call.
My great pleasure, sir. What can I do for you?
I'm not related to Kelly.
You're
My
not?
last name is Lewis.
Is it
Oh,
really?
nice.
Well, you know, there are only 733 million Lewises in the world, so I think. Are you any relation to Jerry or Sherry or any of the other Lewises?
No, because he changed his name.
Oh, really?
Joseph Letovich.
That's right. Wow. All right. But Bruce is your real name.
Yes.
Okay. What can I do for you?
Well, I sent my email in thinking of switching from Windows to Mac.
Oh,
for
where's the
digital
band?
photography.
Get the brass band out. Da, 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 da. So, you're a photographer?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And why are you thinking of making the switch?
Well, I sent the email 2 weeks ago, and just this weekend I was up in Tobermory photographing the color changes.
Yeah.
And took my laptop and an external drive with me, and I thought I lost all my photographs.
Oh.
The drive wouldn't get recognized.
Is this a Mac or Windows?
The old version, Windows.
Okay. Well, you know, it can happen. You know, be honest. It can happen on any kind of computer.
Absolutely.
And that's why we do back up, don't we, Bruce?
I have two backup
Good.
drives now.
But you're
backing up
right.
Everything.
When you're on the road and you're taking pictures and moving it off to your computer, there is that period of time where that's the only copy you have of those
Absolutely.
files. That's a little scary.
And one of my cameras only shoots in RAW.
So they're big files.
Yes, on a 1 gig card, I only get 162 pictures.
Right. Well, just for future reference, Epson makes a really great portable device with a beautiful screen. I think it's called the P4000.
It
but
doesn't recognize my RAM, my RAW files.
That's what you had with it?
I tested on a friend of mine.
Right.
He has one. Because I use a Sigma FD10.
Right.
It's beautiful.
It's using that
photograph.
Foveon chip, and the problem is that RAW is not a standard. So because you've got data coming off of there on the, I think it's a Foveon, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's a really unusual
Yep.
format. RAW means just the raw data from the chip that's capturing the image, and it's really unusual. So you're going to find, I think probably that's the case even with, does Photoshop recognize it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so the new Photoshop RAW plugin will recognize it, but I think that's not surprising. I'm sure Epson will update their firmware, but it's hard to keep up with all the different formats.
Absolutely.
To be honest with you.
Yep.
Anyway, what's your question?
Well, I'm just trying to find out if I was to switch to Mac, is there a limitation on, or is there a starting area that you start at in RAM, and how many hard drives can I attach to it?
You use Photoshop?
Yes.
Okay. The Photoshop is what really sucks RAM. Now, the nice thing, Windows, you're limited to 4 gigabytes, period. On most Macs now, you can go much bigger, and you get a Mac Pro desktop. I think, what is the limit on that? It's a lot. It's like a terabyte. It's huge. I mean, it's unlimited. You wouldn't want to buy all the RAM you could put in that thing. Are you thinking of a laptop or a desktop?
Both.
So I recommend absolutely a gigabyte minimum on anything. But now here's the thing about Photoshop. It keeps a copy of the picture you're editing in RAM, and it would like to keep a scratch copy of it, or maybe more, in RAM too. So the more memory you have, the faster Photoshop is going to be.
Sure.
So I would recommend probably as maxing out the RAM on a laptop. 2 to 4 gigs is more than enough. You're not going to be doing. I mean, laptops aren't that fast for other reasons. The hard drive's slow and so forth. I think 2 gigs is plenty. And the nice thing on the new Mac Intel laptops with 2 gigs, you can still run Windows if you want using Parallels. So you're not leaving anything behind.
Right.
On a desktop, if you're going to have a workhorse, it's going to really be doing a lot of Photoshop. You do big files. Sounds like you do. You do a lot of Photoshopping. 4 gigs of RAM would be nice. And some people, pros, people like Alex Lindsay, who comes by here and talks about photography and Photoshop, they'll have 6, 8 gigabytes, which is more than you can even have on Windows. And again, the reason is it speeds everything up, and it has a lot to do with how you use it. I wouldn't buy 8 to start. It's a lot of money. I would start with 2 and watch with Activity Monitor, which is a resource monitor, how you're using the RAM. If you see that you're using the scratch disk a lot, or Photoshop feels like it's getting sluggish as you open really big files, it's easy to add more RAM. Now, as for hard drive space, sky's the limit, because you're not only limited to what's inside the computer, because all Macs have FireWire. In fact, the desktops have FireWire 800, which means you can put an external drive and another one and another one and another one. So you really have unlimited disk storage. I wouldn't worry about disk storage. You certainly want to start with a lot. Which are you thinking about, buying an iMac or a Mac Pro for the desktop?
Mac Pro.
Oh, well then there's no limit at all, my friend. The sky is the limit. I just bought a Mac Pro. It's the best computer I've ever used. Very, very, very fast. Callie just bought
the
one.
right station, because I know I'm talking to the best.
Yeah, the minute Callie gets home, she and Neil will have a big box on the doorstep. It's a nice big Mac Pro.
Yeah.
How much RAM did you put in yours?
Actually, Neil did that. I didn't because I've been too busy preparing for this.
I
so
think we
he
talked
did it,
and he said 4.
4. Okay.
And the reason is they're doing video production. Same thing. You need a lot of RAM. You need fast hard drive. It comes with inside. When you open it up, there are these little drawers. I think there's 4 or 5 of them. So you can add internally 500 gigs, 500 gigs, up to 2 terabytes worth of data. I mean, that should be enough.
Sounds like what I'm looking for.
This is a workhorse. The nice thing about this, because it's using the newest Xeon chips, you will be able to upgrade the chips with the new ones when they come out later and go from 4-way, which is what you've got now, which is 2 chips with 2 processors each, to 8-way. They're using the new, I think, is it the Crestwood chips? Is that what they? Kentfield. Kentfield or Kentwood? Kentsfield. You will be able to get 8-way processing should you need it down the road. So the Mac Pro is probably the most upgradable Mac out there. It may even be the most upgradable computer. It's an amazing computer. That's really why I bought it. I needed it for no reason at all. I just wanted to have the best.
Sounds like you're inviting me over to play on yours.
Would you want to come over? Wait, I got the 30-inch screen too, Bruce. Playtime at Leo's. I have to say, I spent an outrageously large amount of money. My kids will not be going to college. However,
Luckily, I don't have any.
yeah, you see, Daddy's got a new toy. I use it for work, and I think when you use this stuff for work, as Callie does for their video editing, she asked. You actually sent me an email. Said, should I buy an iMac? Should I buy a Pro?
Right.
What did I say? I forgot.
Definitely the Pro.
I said
if we
more
can afford it,
power.
to do the Pro.
Because and the reason is it's just about your time.
Yeah.
You can do it all with the iMac.
Right.
But you're doing a lot of video processing. You do a video every day. The faster it does the job, the better. And I think it's true for a pro photographer too.
Yeah. We did an interview with you and haven't gotten it up on the video part of it because we can't process it on what we have currently.
Wait till you get the Pro.
Yeah.
It'll be up in 5 minutes.
All right.
And by the way, World of Warcraft.
Ooh.
Don't tell my wife though, okay, please. She thinks I'm working. Bruce, thanks for the call. We appreciate it.
Is there any way I can get an photograph of the new people now, including the entire crew?
You can hang on the line.
If I do,
yes,
I will give you one of my photographs signed.
Ah, I would love that. What kind of pictures you take? Fall leaves,
landscape,
things?
butterflies, nature.
I would love that. Hang on the line. We'll get your address. We'll send something out to you.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Thank you, Bruce. Take care. You travel. Bruce travels. You've got to have internet access. What if you could pay the same amount as you do for broadband service on the go and share that connection with your colleagues and friends? What if you can't get broadband, but you can get high-speed cell connections? This is a cool new product. Callie Lewis from Geek Brief TV has the details. It's on the Great Pod Show Podcast Network, and Callie will be joining us in just a little bit. You stay right here. I'm sorry, I didn't hear any music. Hello, welcome back to Call for Help. You know, I'm just really fascinated by this thing. In order to have broadband on the go, a lot of people use these cards right now that they put into their laptops. In the States, Verizon and Singular and Sprint offer these. Here in Canada, it's Bell and Rogers. It's a great way to get high-speed internet everywhere you go. It's not Wi-Fi, it's on the cell network. But Callie Lewis is here from Geek Brief TV, which is on the Great Pod Show Podcast Network, to show us how you can take this out of your laptop and give wireless high speed to your whole house.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people are making the switch from having that, just the PC card, when they travel, because you have to have that when you travel, a lot of people, into doing something like this Kyocera K1 router.
Well, you're already paying for
because
this.
you're paying for it already. And then you can have access to the whole family. My hotel room doesn't here. The connection is kind of,
It's a little
you know,
slow,
a little slow, but also a little unreliable.
Okay.
So this, we hooked it up, and
it worked.
It was completely reliable. A little bit slower than the hotel access, but still, it was reliable. We could do what we needed to do and get it done.
This uses the EVDO network, which can vary in speeds from 700 kilobits to more than a megabit, but it varies, and that's the point. So this just comes out of your PC and goes in here?
Yeah. It's so simple. You put the card in, you plug it in, and you're good to go.
So it's a regular router. You could hook up PC's
Right,
wire.
for Ethernet.
And you were using it Wi-Fi as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you obviously have to have an account. Is there some way
Sure.
that it logs in, or do you see a login screen when you
No,
log in?
it shows up automatically
That's cool.
as
So you probably
your
put
connection.
it into the settings here.
Yeah.
Wow, that is so cool.
So it's a super simple way. I became interested in actually because my high speed was cut in half
Right.
in my house,
Right.
and I needed something to deal
Right.
with, and I think I'm going to go ahead and buy one of these.
How much are they?
They're $249.
So they're more expensive than a standard router.
Sure.
Considerably more expensive.
But I
and
think
this
well worth
service
it.
can be a lot more expensive. In the States, I know it's $60. I think it's even more here in Canada. And yet, if you're, as you said, if you're already paying for that,
Yeah.
you can get rid of your cable company, or you can get rid of your DSL
Right.
and just use this all the time. I wonder, though, if the phone companies mind that you do that.
Well,
How
you
would
do
they
what you need to do,
know?
right?
Right, you do what you need to know. Absolutely. You might want to check your end user license agreement just to make
Sure.
that you're not violating that. But this is a standard router. Once you get, and has another advantage, which is you get the security of a router,
Right.
which you wouldn't have if you just plug that into your computer.
Absolutely. And a lot of people say this is one of the best routers.
D-Link makes very
KR1.
good. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. These are great routers.
Yeah.
So very cool. This is from Kyocera, and people have been asking me on my radio show in Los Angeles, because we have
Right.
this down in LA, and there are a lot of people who live in areas, believe it or not, where you can get high-speed cell, but
That's so
not
odd.
cable or DSL. And this is a perfect solution for
Yeah.
them. It's better than satellite.
And you could share it and be nice, and everybody loves you then,
Now,
right?
did you do that? So when I go to the hotel, should I just look for your router and log in? Oh, look, the Geek Brief router. Hey, let's all use Callie's connection. That's great. This is from D-Link, $250, and
Yeah.
they call it the Kyocera
KR1.
KR1.
Yep.
Callie Lewis comes to us the courtesy of her great tech video podcast, geekbrief.tv, on the Podshow Podcast Network. And want more information about this? And actually, we have some other mobile routers in here. You can head for callforhelptv.com on the Leo Laporte Broadcast Network. We'll be right back with more answers to your tech troubles. But first, let's see what our esteemed staffers use to get online when they're in the control room. We'll be right back.
10, 9, 8 commercials, 7, 6, 5 commercials, 4, 3, roll commercials, Lady Black, 1,
Welcome back to Call for Help. Leo Laporte on this end, Callie Lewis on that end. Callie's got another call for us.
We do. In Toronto, Ontario, we have Anthony.
Hello, Anthony.
Hey, Leo.
How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Is he behind me? Is he sneaking up behind me? I see him right there. How are you, Anthony? You thought you'd sneak up behind me, did you? What's up?
I have a question about wireless security.
Okay.
Now, I have a Linksys Wireless G router, and I've set up the security by enabling the MAC filtering.
Yes.
So I only have like 2 of my laptops that are allowed to get on my network.
That seems like such a good security method, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I was watching your show 2 days ago, and Steve Gibson
Scared you.
said, he said that actually the safest way is WPA. I think.
Right. Let me explain. MAC address filtering, and I tell you what, I still see a lot of companies using this. When you go to a conference, sometimes they'll say, well, we need your MAC. This is such a pain. We need your MAC address, and you have to open up your computer, find the MAC address, which is a special, unique number for your Ethernet connector or your Wi-Fi connector, and they enter it into their database, and only cards with that MAC address can get on. And that seems like a great idea, right? Only people we've officially permitted, and since a MAC address is absolutely unique to every single machine, there's one and only one, should be perfect security, right, Anthony?
Yep, that's what I thought.
Yeah, well, here's the problem. Okay, I just run a little bit of software on here. I watch all the traffic going by. I see all the MAC addresses going by. I pick one I like, and I enter it into my MAC address spoofing program, which is very simple to do. And all of a sudden, my computer has that computer's MAC address. It is not, in fact, unique. It's not protected. In fact, many consumer programs, including your router probably, have the ability to change the MAC address.
Okay.
So how is that secure? It's like you're handing out keys to anybody.
Right.
Right. And I give 100 keys out, and Mike comes along and says, can I borrow your key for a minute? It takes it, duplicates it, gives it back to me. Now he's on. So in fact, it is not a good form of security. There's only really one good form of security, period, on wireless. And we'll throw them all out because there's a lot of myths, and I really would like to destroy them right now. There's another one. Sometimes you see people say, well, I'm just going to hide my broadcast ID so that when people open up their Windows machine or their Mac and they say search for networks, it doesn't show up in that list. Well, how are they going to join? They don't know the name. It's a mystery. Same thing. If somebody's bad, they can easily run software that will find out the name of all the networks out there, regardless whether they're hiding them. So the thing is, these two things that you're just talking about, MAC address filtering and broadcast ID or ESSID hiding, are good for keeping the casual snoop out, your neighbor, right? Somebody who's not sophisticated, but they don't keep the hacker out. So I guess the question is, what's the purpose of security? If it's to keep your neighbor from borrowing a cup of Wi-Fi, then this will work fine, unless your neighbor happens to be, you know, Kevin Mitnick. But if the purpose is, and I think this really should be the purpose, to truly secure your network, there's really only one way to do it, and that's to turn on encryption. Now, unfortunately, there are two forms of encryption in Wi-Fi. The most common old form is WEP, Wired Equivalent Protocol. And unfortunately, WEP was, so, as you probably know if you listen to Steve's podcast, so badly designed that it can be cracked in about 15 minutes. If I can sit outside, watch about 15 minutes of your traffic, all I need is enough data, I can crack it. Easy. So there really, well, that only makes WEP. There really is only one form of encryption that works, and that's WPA. There are several flavors of WPA, but the good news is it's strong encryption. It hasn't been cracked. If you use a good, strong password, and Steve recommends people actually go to his page, grc.com/passwords, and get a good, strong 63 or 64 character password from him. The good news is that's not only the only thing you need to do, it works. So, don't, you know, and the truth about MAC address filtering is a pain in the butt, isn't it? Every time.
Once it's set up, it's pretty good.
Yeah, once it's done, it's fine.
Yeah.
But as soon as somebody comes and says, I want to join your network, you got to find the MAC address. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't do anything. Yeah. That's the main point. Okay. So turn on WPA. Same advantage. Your neighbor can't get on. He needs a password. But you can easily, you know, if Sean comes to your house, you say, Sean, here's the password. He logs in, and he never has to use it again. He's on the network. It's actually more convenient and more effective. So, I mean, I think we all win.
So would I have to give whoever the 64...
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I don't use these long. This is really secure because it's totally random. I don't use that. I mean, come on. I use a good password, you know, maybe 8 to 10 letters with some punctuation, upper and lower case, maybe a number or two, but something I can remember. And I use that. And yes, you do have to give that password to anybody who wants to join your network.
Okay, so go with WPA.
WPA is it. That's all you need.
That's great.
Yeah, thank you, Anthony.
Thanks, Leo.
This is one of those great situations where something works, it's all you need, and it is actually the simplest way to do it. So it's not like you have to jump through hoops to make it work. I'm walking over here, well, mostly because I just think Mikey's a cool dude, but also because it's time for our free file of the day. Sometimes you, what?
Okay, finish reading. Go.
Should I just keep going? Finish reading? Yeah, okay. So, finish reading. You think I'm reading this? Sometimes you might need to highlight a folder that you can easily spot in that dense forest on your desktop. Mike is here with a free file of the day to make it easy to use color coding.
Sorry, I just wanted to interrupt for 1 second because I saw this article about how a gentleman was using his WEP key as art in his living room. So whenever his friends or family came over, he said, "There's a key." They type it in, but
what a good idea!
Yeah.
Yeah, and then no hacker is going to know to look at the painting and say, "Oh, there's the key. I see it right there."
It was like an oil painting, so he actually made it look nice and yeah.
You know what they call that? Hidden in plain sight.
Yeah.
All right, now let's color code our folders and files and things like that.
Absolutely. So what this program is very simple. It's in the Mac they have had it for years, since like System 8 or 7 or whatever, and it was the ability just to color folders so that you could actually see them if they're something special. So let's say, for instance, I have my Corel user files here. That's very important to me because it's got all my user data. So I want to color it. Right-click on the particular file you want to change. Go to Color Label, and then just select either one of the pre-selected colors.
That's great.
Or go to a custom one, and you can kind of make. The other thing you can do is you can also customize the folder style. So this is in particular right now I have on the screen, I have the Vista style of folders, how they're going to look, but you can also import unique styles, change it There you
And
go.
it's absolutely free. What's it called?
It's called iColor Folder.
iColor Photo Folder.
Folder.
And it's a free file.
Absolutely free.
If people have more free files they'd like to send you, what should they do?
I think they should send it to Mike@callforhelptv.com. It's a good
I was
place to
thinking
go.
the same thing.
Yeah.
Hey, small fry business guy, are you having trouble trying to deal with your big business competition? Up next, we're going to introduce you to a new technique to help you compete. I'm actually very interested in this. But before we leave, one more chance to take our next tech quiz question of the day. What audio encoding technique does Sony use with its mini discs? Is it MP3, PCM, A-track, or 8-track? Go to the website, give us the answer, we'll talk about it. One Call for Help continues. Welcome back to Call for Help. Before the break, we asked you which audio encoding method Sony uses on its mini discs. It is C, A-track, A-T-R-A-C. What does that stand for? Does anybody know?
Adaptive Transform Acoustic Coding.
Transform acoustic coding. Well, there you go. Well, I should have known that. It is, of course, its own, as usual with Sony, proprietary format nobody else supports, or maybe a few do. These are the mini discs. I like the mini disc technology. It's kind of another one of those things that, along came MP3s and blew it out of the water. More than ever, small companies are competing directly with larger ones. To do this effectively, small companies need to be smarter, more agile, more nimble than their larger competitors. Toby Lutka is here from Shopify.com to tell us about how to leverage your small business so you can compete with the big guys. We love Shopify, by the way. A very easy way to get an e-commerce site up and running like that. What is Turtle Mania? Is this real or is this your...
Turtle Mania is my own shop. I play around with there and I show people new features, and I actually get sometimes orders and I have to send email. And sorry, I don't actually have any.
You don't have any turtles?
So it's just a demo. I'm going to use this to show you something later.
Yeah, okay.
The main thing is that we are a very small company, and we had a snowboard shop, and we later on decided to take the software we've made and create something big where everyone can come and create their own shops.
Right.
And we realized pretty quickly that we are a very small team with a very, very big project there.
Yeah, no kidding.
So
did you do Shopify originally for your snowboard shop? It was kind of your own in-house e-commerce?
Oh yeah, it was not supposed to become Shopify actually.
Why did you not go out and buy one? There was nothing like Shopify. Why didn't you go out and go to Yahoo Shops or one of the big e-commerce providers?
Well, Yahoo Shops especially doesn't really allow you to customize it very well. So we said we're gonna make the page look really like a hip web standards based, very clean looking.
And that's Shopify does that.
Yes, exactly. That's why we created our own template language in the end. So
give us some tips. I've got a shop. Let's say I'm going to set up a Shopify site. What kinds of things should I do to really make it fly?
Well, the strongest point of Shopify is definitely the theme engine, which means that different shops can look completely differently. It's absolutely up to you. We developed our own little programming language, which you can use, which is very, very simple to use, which you can use to implement just about any look you want.
You didn't use CSS?
You definitely will use CSS, but you can go further than that. If you do CSS based and just HTML, you're very reduced of. You can't actually add more content. So if you say in Shopify that the front page of your shop is actually supposed to be a blog, that is no problem. You can just pull these information from Shopify.
Oh, that's neat.
And then, but you can also say, I would like my top sellers to show off to the right.
And that you would use the programming language for to get some more functionality built into.
And in fact, if you apply the different themes Shopify ships with, which I think is about 10, they present even the front page very differently in very different ways. They have different take on what it. What an e-commerce system looks like.
I think when Amber used to talk at Web Workshops, she would agree that what you're doing here is really important, to show some product and have a button that says, buy this sucker. I mean, that's really important, isn't it?
Yeah. It's definitely, you don't want to put too many steps into the process.
Make it simple.
Our actual checkout system, it's just 2 pages. It really just presents you and asks you for your shipping, and the next screen just asks you how do you want to pay, and that's that.
Now I have a pet peeve, and I have to confess this is something we are doing on the Twit shopping engine, mostly because the engine we're using doesn't give us a choice. I hate it when I have to sign up for an account before I can buy something.
Absolutely. Like, we do not even support that.
That's
It's just-
crazy.
It always annoys me, so the software doesn't support
Right.
that. I have some
I
little
might be
trick.
moving to Shopify because I feel like it looks like somebody's capturing my information for sale to somebody else. It looks like an invasion of privacy. Sure, they can say it makes it easier to buy next time and so forth. I don't want an account every time I buy something.
No, it's only good for the shop owner. It's not actually good for
It's
the
not
user.
good for the user, right?
So one thing I would like to talk about is that we are using a system, and it's recently what's coined by Wired Magazine. It's called crowdsourcing.
Crowdsourcing.
What that means is that a company such as ours puts up an open call to a user base, usually a large group, to help them with something. You do stuff that usually employees of a company would do.
Right.
This is a way how small companies such as our
If you don't have employees, how do you get
Exactly.
somebody to help you out? So
Yeah.
you use crowdsourcing. Can you give us an example?
Absolutely. So one of the big things we crowdsourced was internationalization. So the checkout of Shopify is completely translatable, everything for even the
Any
order
language
PDF.
at all. Yeah.
And the way we implemented that is that we created English ourselves, and then
Oh, you
said,
put their names in there when they do another language.
And
That's smart.
this drop-down has the last option is
Create a
create
new
in
translation.
in which everyone who has an itch, any language, can just go and
You know,
create
unconsciously, we've done that on Twit because people have done our themes, our album art, have helped us out. And you know, people are willing to help you out. If they like your shop, they want to have their language in there, they're willing to do it. There's lots more tips. We're running out of time. I'm sorry to say, Toby. I strongly encourage you to check out Shopify. I think I'm going to move over. shopify.com. You're also a core member of the Ruby on Rails development team. Thank you for a great development system. It's
You're
just
welcome.
fantastic. You want to know more? And Toby's got a lot more tips about how to use your small business to leverage into a big business. Visit callforhelptv.com. A final word coming up right after this. I'm sorry, we ran out of time. I think that is so cool. It makes me want to set up a store. I don't know what I'll sell. Maybe my shirts. I don't know, something, anything. I'll sell you the shirt off my back. How much would you pay for this? But I won't take it off on the air, right? That would be a bad thing. I wouldn't do that.
Come on, do it.
No.
You've danced on air before. Go
I've
ahead,
done stupid
strip.
things. You know, I've actually streaked on the show before. I hate to say it. It wasn't this show. It was. I thought I had left Tech TV. I thought we had a little contract dispute. I thought I was done. I thought, well, I'll say goodbye to Martin Sargent and the crew on. He had a show called Unscrewed, and I thought, well, I'll just, So I wandered on stage in my underwear. It wasn't bad. It was, boxer shorts. It wasn't bad, but at the same time, it was bad. It was really bad. And by the way, if you saw that, I'm sorry. I'm sure it traumatized you, and I apologize. If you have, and I promise I won't do it again. If you, I'm still living it down. I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere. If you have a question for us, go to the website callforhelptv.com. Fill out the form. We can't answer you personally, but we'd love to get you on the show. If you got a problem with your personal confuser,
Don't whine.
don't moan.
Don't yell.
Just
Call for help.
See you next time.